and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie and this is the Reader Problems book tag. It's actually just a tag, but that's what you're getting today. As I said, this is the Reader's Problem tag, and it was originally created by Tiffany over at About to Read. I think that's what it is. I will link the original down in the description box. I'm not sure if it's still up or not, but I'll leave the link down there. So I was feeling quite sarcastic, hence the t-shirt. New Tea Turtle t-shirt, right? And it was either do this video or do the Nope book tag, and the notebook tag requires me to prep, whereas this one just requires me to answer questions. So you guys are getting the question answered video today. I will be doing the note video tag, book tag here shortly, or like in the next week or two. I don't know. It depends on when I'm going to feel salty again. But yeah, so let's get to the Reader's Problem tag. So the first question is, you have 20,000 books on my TBR. Which it sort of feels that way all the time. How in the world do you decide what you want to read next? So the thing that I have to juggle is that I am constantly getting ARCs in. I sign up for ARCs from some of my favorite authors, and when those come in, those take priority. So my TBR sort of just grows. It just continues to grow and grow and grow. I watch videos of my other friends on BookTube, and then I'm like, oh, I kind of want to read that book, and then my TBR grows, but then I have ARCs that come in, and yeah, so that's how that goes. So ARCs have priority in my life when it comes to reading. And then I'm also a mood reader. So if I'm not in the mood for a non-ARC book, then yeah, I'm like, do I want to laugh? Do I want sexy time? That all plays a part into it. So I just have a wide variety of books, and there's never really any real way to say how I'm gonna ever like shrink my TBR, because it's not gonna happen. It's just not. Question number 2 is, you're halfway through a book and you just not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? So that depends on if it is an ARC or not, and even with ARCs, it depends on the author. Some ARCs if I'm not committed and feeling it and all into the situation, I will reach out to an author and be like, I wasn't feeling this, so I'm going to put this down. I'm not going to have my review for you when I promised you, because I'm just not feeling it. I'm not in the right mindset right now for your book. If it is an author that I have read before, I know their style, I know their sort of cadence, if I have a rapport with them, and I've worked with them before, I will still reach out to them and say, hey, I'm kind of having a little bit of a struggle with your book right now. I don't know if it's my mindset that is, or if it's the book, how the story is moving, but it's going to take me a little longer. And I will step away from the book for just a little bit. Now, if it's an author that I just randomly picked because of maybe a readathon or to complete a readathon challenge or something like that, then I will DNF that book so quick, fast, in a hurry. Bye-bye. Too many books on my TBR to stress myself out on something that I'm not loving. Question number 3 is, the end of the year is coming and you're so close, but oh so far from my Goodreads challenge. Do I try to catch up, and how? So I crushed my Goodreads challenge last year. I think I had like 125 books I think I said I wanted to read, something like that, and I crushed that. I had it done by like June of last year. So I unofficially decided that I was going to push myself to read 365 books last year. So a book a day in the middle of the year. And I did end up doing that. And the way that I ended up doing that was I listened to a lot of audiobooks. Shorter, like 6 to 8 hour audiobooks that could fly by because I speed them up and I can listen to them. And I got 365 books read last year, so that's how I do it. If I am lagging on my Goodreads goal, I will listen to more audiobooks. Question number 4 is the covers of a series do not match. How do you cope? Well, I only collect signed books. As you can see on my shelves back there, those are all signed. I receive them at book signings and things like that. Or I receive them from the author, but they're all signed. And when authors decide to change the covers, I will just go and end up buying the new cover, the new set. There are a couple series that I have back there that I have 2 copies of because I wanted the old cover and I wanted the new cover. Now, if I already have the completed set and then they are recovered, I don't buy new ones. My husband would hurt me if that happened. So, if it's available, I will get the new covers. If it's not, then yeah. It has to be something that I truly, truly love. Like, if E.L. James decided to recover 50 Shades of Grey, I would go and buy that because it's one of my faves. And I would get that new cover of the series and stuff like that. I don't buy outside of the United States, so how the covers that I have are US versions. I do have a couple limited covers, like Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan had a new cover that was a special edition cover that came in Hello Lovely book box, so I got that one. But for the most part, if I've already gotten the series, if I've already got them signed and stuff like that, I don't actively go out and get the new covers. Question number 5 is, everyone and their mother loves a book you don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? Oh, that's very interesting. So we all know the book that I don't love and everyone seems to love. We all know that I did a rant video on it, right? Yes. But it's fine. Everyone has their own opinions. And I have found that when I first voiced my opinion on my non-love for this book, I got a lot of pushback. However, people did end up coming out of the woodworks to support my opinion, and it's fine. It's fine that people love this book. I didn't. And that's just how it is. I mean, everybody can't love everything. We're not sheep. We're not all going to just stay in a straight line and love everything that the other person loves. We all have our minds of our own, or at least we should have minds of our own. That's a totally different discussion. So, there we go. Question number 6 is, you're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public. How do you deal? I cry in public. Unashamedly. I took public transit for about 5 years in the Washington, Virginia, D.C. area, and it was like an hour and a half each way. I would cry. I would be sniffling and pulling out tissue and wiping my face and looking all, going into work all just over a book. Yes. Yes. So if you were ever in the Washington, D.C. area, going back and forth into Washington, D.C., and you saw a person crying on the train, that was probably me. And I have no shame about it. Question number 7 is, a sequel of a book you loved just came out, but you've forgotten a lot of the prior novel. Will I reread the book? So when I first started reading heavily, back in 2012, I would be that person that was like, oh, this is gonna be a sequel? I am not reading book number 1 until this entire series is out. Then I started my booktube channel, and I still stuck to that. However, you have those authors that you end up being friends with, or that you have a working relationship with, and they're like, hey, I would like you to read and review my book because you've liked my work in the past. However, this is going to be a series. Okay, when's the next book going to be released? This is the schedule. And if they stick to that schedule of giving me, letting me know, hey, book 1 is coming out this year, book 2 is coming out this year, or in 9 months, or something like that, I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm good. Because I take notes, and I have a reading journal, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to give you guys weekly wrap-ups if I tried to think about all the books that I read in 1 week without having notes. So I can go back and look at my notes for that book. And if I pick it up and I'm like, I really don't know what's going on in this story, let me figure this out. Just look at my notes. But for the most part, the authors that I deal with, the authors that I consume that do series, they are on strict schedules that they end up releasing 1 book in 1 month, and then 5 or 6 months down the line, they have another book. And they're very clear about that. And what I have noticed in this book world is that those authors are actively writing the books in the series. So they don't actually release the first book in the series until they've started or almost finished the second book in the series, or have finished or sent that second book off to editing and things like that, and they've already started working on the third book. So there isn't too much of a lapse in time frame. It's very, very scary when an author releases a book and then there is a year or 2 sort of lag with when the next book in the series coming out. Because then, yes, I would have to reread the books. That has happened, and it did not make me feel good. But that's another thing that I like about reading indie authors, is because they're pretty good about that. And I'm one of those readers that's cool with it. So it's okay, they know. Question number 8 is, do you not want anyone borrowing your books? How do you politely tell them nope when they ask? So nobody asked to read my books. I don't have family around that's like, hey, can I come to your library and read one of your... No, these are my pretties. Like I said before, they're signed, so they don't actually leave here. I may come down and visit them, but they don't actually leave. Ever. Question number 9 is, you've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over a reading slump? So I am lucky enough to know my reading taste. And if I feel like I am being in a book hangover from a book that has just emotionally drained me to the point where I'm thinking about that book, I go and pick up something super smutty, super sexy, or from an author that's going to make me laugh. So I have a few subgenres of romance that I just have my go-tos for, certain authors that I know is going to keep me out of my slump. Or I'll listen to a super short audiobook, and that helps me stay out of a slump. Question number 10 is, there are so many new books coming out that you're dying to read, which is always a thing. How many do you actually buy? All the books. All the books. Of course, all the books. Question number 11. After you've bought the new books, you can't wait to get to. How long do they sit on your shelf before you actually get to them? That's a bit of a problem because my TBR, like I said earlier, is always growing. So, yeah. It's better if I arc read a book and then I end up buying the book when it releases, so I can show support to the author. That is the reader's problem book tag, or tag, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to tag anybody. If you like the questions, which are down in the description box, you can go ahead and join in the conversation. Let me know some of your answers to these questions down in the comments if you don't have a booktube channel. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later.